Hey, my name's Kai. I'm going to show you how to install AutoGPT today. You can navigate to autogpt.net. You can go to their install. It's like right on their homepage. Just scroll down a little bit. Installation and features. If you're here, I'm guessing you already know what it is, but if you don't, it's just an AI program built on top of the GPT-4 platform. ChatGPT has obviously been very popular in the past, however many months now. But there's limitations where it's using data from 2021 and before, so there's no recent data. And it also doesn't have internet access. It doesn't have long-term and short-term memory management. It doesn't have access to websites. You can only scrape the URL data, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so anyway, it makes it a much more powerful tool to use. Anyway, the requirements: you're going to need Python, an OpenAI API key, Pinecone. I don't know why it says this required, because I think that's like, from what I understand, I'm not even using Pinecone at the moment. I'm just using local cache for the memory, but it's probably good to do. You're going to use it later on anyway. And then the 11 labs is for the AI to speak, or I think you can speak to it as well. So let's start with Python. So you'll go to python.org, you'll go to downloads, and again, this is for Mac, because I'm doing it on Mac, and I haven't done it on Windows yet. Click Mac OS, let's go to, I did the most recent stable release, and then you can just hit the Mac OS 64-bit Universal 2 installer, click it, go through the prompts. It's pretty straightforward. You can't really mess it up. I'm not going to do it because I just tried to make a video previously of this, and I deleted a bunch of my already, I didn't delete it, but I overwrote a bunch of stuff I already had installed and stuff, and it's just it got super messy with trying to get a second Git repository cloned and everything. So we're just going to theoretically walk through some of this stuff and not actually paste in keys and whatnot. So you go to Open API after you got Python installed. OpenAI API. There's a link here, this is another thing you need to watch out if you're using the tutorial on their website. It doesn't hyperlink things. It does, but it doesn't have a display for it. So it just looks like normal text. So you can just click the link and it'll take you right to the OpenAI API website. It's such a mouthful. And then you can log in with Google, which is what I did, and then you can say it's for personal, and then you just create a new secret key. And it's pretty straightforward. And then what you want to do is copy that key and paste it into a document. That you're going to be using it later, is why I say that. And then you're going to do the same thing with Pinecone, which they have a link for that right here too. You just click that link, log in, sign up, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's through Google as well. And then I can show you this because it's blurred out, but basically what you're going to do after you generate your API key, you'll just hit create API key, and then you'll also want to copy that key value, put it in a document somewhere. You don't want to show anybody these because these are you don't want anybody having your keys, they're secure. And then you're going to also need this environment as well. So I would copy paste that too, or just leave this open. And then we can move on to the actual installation. You should have Git installed on your MacBook already, so you can do git-v to double check. But what you're going to want to do is, I just made a folder on my desktop named it AutoGPT. You're gonna have to do most of this stuff in terminal, so you should get used to using terminal commands. So cd is just change directory. By default, it's in whatever regular directory Mac uses. So cd, do desktop, and then we can do cd auto gpt, and then we'll copy paste this in. I don't want to do it because I already have it there, and then it'll just download it. It's really small. It should take a couple of seconds, and then you'll want to cd into the it creates a new folder inside of it, so the actual folder where everything's stored. So now we're inside there, You'll run this. That'll take a minute. You'll also copy paste that into your terminal here. And if you know how to copy paste on Mac, it's just Command C, Command V. So we'll delete that. But basically, you want to install all the requirements. It should be pretty straightforward. It shouldn't be any errors. This is like a brand new MacBook. I've had it for like a month, and it just did it all straightforward. So once we have that, you'll have to go into your AutoGPT file, which is just on my desktop again. You'll have a folder here named its environment, short for environment, .environment.template. And then you want to open that. You want to open with, mine's already defaulted to the text editor because I've already saved it as a document. But you'll want to scroll down, hit text edit, open, and then you'll have something that looks like this. And I'm going to have to blur these out now because these are my keys. Anyway, there's you'll find things. This part's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's copy and paste, and you already have the keys, so you just find the OpenAPI key, OpenAI API key, paste it in. One thing I will say is make sure you don't use quotes. Make sure there's a space between the equal sign and your API key. You're going to do this for your Pinecone one as well, and also put your environment region. So that's the other thing I had you copy paste earlier. And again, make sure there's a space between the equal sign and your keys. And then you'll want to file, save as, whatever. You basically want to like just rename it and delete the .template because it'll look like this. And you want to take that out and then save it. So Command S, or you can go up here and hit File, Save, whichever. Now that we've done that, why did that move? Okay. Oh, it's because I have it sorted by date modified. Now that we've done that, we should theoretically be ready to run the actual AutoGPT bot, whatever you want to call it. So already inside the right directory, so we can literally just copy paste this in. One thing I will say is, for some reason, Python command default wasn't working. Like, it'll say main.py, right? So this won't work. Like, I don't know why, but it doesn't default command Python. So you have to do, this also goes for pip as well for whatever reason. So Python 3, which is the version, and then it'll theoretically work from there. You can start giving it commands, prompts. Maybe, I really don't want to delete my current one because it's already learned so much. But basically, it should just look like, it gives you like a straightforward, like you just fill in inputs, and it's like you have goals and like, what's this AI designed for and the name of the AI. It's like pretty straightforward. I mean, if you use ChatGPT before, you know what like how to use it. So this is like an important part, and it's also like super convoluted, and I'm probably gonna have to like edit the fuck out of this when I go through this. So again, the links aren't hyperlinked or whatever, they're not displayed. So and this took me forever to get set up. So you'll want to go to your cloud console, and I'm gonna have to, I don't think they in text display anything, hopefully not, that would suck. Anyway, you'll hit here, you'll hit new project. Once you sign in with Google or whatever, you'll hit a little drop down, you'll hit new project, name it, whatever. I'm gonna cancel because I already have one, obviously. We're gonna go to the project. Once we're in the project, actually, I don't even, I'll give it a name. Yeah, we go to the dashboard. So this is also another, you really gotta like hunt these out because it saves you so much time than trying to find the dashboard, right? So now we're in the dashboard. You want to hit this little guy here, enable APIs and services, and then you'll find, it's called custom Google search, I think. Custom search API. So you want to go here, click this. You should have different prompts here because I've already done this, obviously. This part was pretty straightforward, but there was like some, this part right here, right? So like after we do the custom search API, which is, and then you enable it, this credentials page. So when I did this, did I close it out? No. So when I did this, I'll go to manage. That should say like enable for you. So we'll go to credentials, and then we'll go to, is it create credentials? Yeah. So you'll have API key here now. And when I did this, I didn't have that option. I don't know why, but I tried doing it through like the Google Cloud links instead of clicking on this credentials page link. And for whatever reason, it made the API key option show up for me. So if you're having trouble finding that, that's what worked for me. So now we'll go add, I think create credentials, or what was it? You'll want to like show key, copy paste the API key into the document where you have your other ones, because you're going to have to paste this into your environment file inside of your AutoGPT folder, which is what it's saying to do here. So now we have that. We can go to, again, it's way faster to just use the links they already provide. And you'll add, and you'll name it, blah, 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 blah. I click search entire web. I had image search on. I kept safe search off or whatever. I'm not a robot. You create it, get out of there. And then it will give you, we can go to, where is it? Credentials. And then we can go in here, and you'll want your search engine ID, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to blur this out too. And you'll just copy that, and you'll also paste that into the document where you have your keys, because you're going to need this as well. And it's your search engine ID. Don't get this confused with your unique API ID. It's a different thing. So we don't need this anymore. Again, what we do to set up the environment variables is we'll just go back into our folder. We'll go here. We'll open it with text edit again. And it should be down here towards the bottom. It'll be Google. And then you'll have do the same thing you did before. You'll have those things saved now. And then you'll just Command S to save it. So now we should have search functionality with Google. Here's some other stuff. I didn't know if this was, actually I haven't even looked into this really, so I don't even know what this is. But it's just some more stuff you can set up. And then here's your Pinecone API. So this, from what I've gathered, right, is Pinecone just allows you to store more in memory, because right now it defaults to your local what do they call it? Local cache. Basically, you're just using onboard memory to store like the bot's short-term and long-term memory. And then this is important too, because if you do want to use Pinecone, you'll have to change it from local to Pinecone. Continuous mode is run the AI without authorization, which is like, you kind of already have that option. When you start running it, it'll say like, to continue with command, you do Y dash and then a number. So, I mean, you can have it run as many commands as you want in a row. What is something else? Oh, another thing is inside of the file here, let's find it. Execute local commands. So you'll need this. I enabled it to true because when you start running the bot and say you wanted to build a program or something and there's dependencies, or like it's got to download Java or Node.js or something, it can't do it by default because it doesn't have local permissions. So if you have it do local commands, it'll do that by default, which is kind of insane because like I watched it literally earlier, like Google, what did it Google? It Googled like how to make a program and installed the environment and got the packages and everything, and like, I don't know, it's crazy how powerful it is. Yeah, and I mean, this is only as good as the prompts you write for it, so like that's going to be my next video. So anyway, I think that's everything you need to get up and going. And then yeah, just play around with it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.